warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zulhairi Bezjuli. Me and my teammate will present about reflective essay on information ethics and law. Firstly, introduction. This project emphasize how important ethics and the law are to the responsible management and use of information in the digital age. While ethics offer moral guidance in areas where laws may be ambiguous or out of date, law provided the formal framework to regulate activities like data protection, copyright, and intellectual property. When combined, they guarantee adherence, stop abuse, direct professional behavior, and foster integrity, accountability, and trust. By striking a balance between fairness, privacy, and transparency, they also encourage responsible information sharing. People and organizations can defend rights, preserve values, and create a more respectful and trustworthy information environment by putting both legal and ethical principles into practice. Next.
Next, I will present about regulatory, ethical, and procedural controls of information use and management. Now, I will explain about the definitions of law, ethics, standards, and procedures. First, law is a rule made by the government, like Malaysia's PDPA that stands for Personal Data Protection Act, which protects personal data. If you break the law, you may be fined or jailed. Second, ethics means knowing right from wrong. Ethics is not a law, but it guides us to act responsibly. For example, being honest or respecting privacy. Third, standards are technical guidelines like Mark 21 or ISO 27001. Standards help ensure the work is done properly and consistently. Lastly, procedures are step-by-step instructions in SOP such as how to backup data or register a book. They help daily tasks run smoothly. In short, law, ethics, standards, and procedures work together to make sure information is managed safely, fairly, and professionally. Next.
Okay, next I will be explaining the difference between information law, ethics, standard, and procedure. Okay, the first is information law is mandatory and authoritative. It must be followed by everyone and is enforced by a legal system. Information ethic is moral and voluntary, and it's guide people to do what is right and but what is right, but it's not enforced by law. So information standard are technical and professional. They are agreed by guidelines and to ensure the consistency. So now the component is law. It is include Data Protection Act, Copyright Law, and Freedom of the Information Act. Ethics involve in principles such as honesty, fairness, and respect, often weighted in codes of conduct. And then the standard include technical specification, classification, system, and industry benchmark. And then procedure is involved instruction, flowchart or checklist to guide daily operation. The next source is the law are created by government, parliament, or court. And then the ethics come from culture, religion, or professional bodies like library associations. Standards also are developed by organizations like ISO or national standard bodies. The procedure are written internally by organization to fit their specific needs. Then the impact is for law protects rights such as privacy and intellectual property. For ethics, ethics build trust and professional integrity. Standards is improve quality, comparability, and efficiency. And the procedure ensure consistency, error-free, and daily operations. Finally, the consequences of non-compliance is breaking law can lead to fines, legal and action or jail. Violating ethic may result in loss of reputation or disciplinary actions. And ignoring standards can cause the technical issues or poor service quality. Not following this procedure can result in mistakes, delay, operational error. So while we look for all for law, ethics, standards, and procedure, the good information practice, they differ in purpose, authority, and consequences. Next.
Next, I will explain the similarities between law, ethics, standards, and procedures in information management. Firstly, law, ethics, standards, and procedures guide how we manage and use information, whether it's a rule, a moral value, a guideline, or a work instruction. They all help us make good decisions and reduce confusion. Secondly, they all promote accountability. Laws make us legally responsible. Ethics remind us to act rightly. Standards increase transparency and procedures show clear steps to follow. Next, they also prevent problems. Laws stop illegal acts, ethics stop unethical behavior, standards prevent low quality, and procedures prevent mistakes. Furthermore, they all work together. For example, a library's data privacy procedure may follow a law, include ethical values, use ISO standards, and be done through SOPs. In addition, they all help improve efficiency, service quality, and the organization's image. Lastly, they all need to be updated over time to stay relevant with new technology, values, and work processes. So, even though they are different, law, ethics, standards, and procedures share the same goal, which is to protect information, support fairness, and build trust. Now I will pass to the next presenter.
So we go to the application. Next, protection of intellectual property rights. Definition. Intellectual property refers to creation of the mind, such as invention, literary and artistic works, designs, symbol, names, and image that are legally protected from unauthorized use. Types of intellectual property. First is copyright, second patent, third trademark, and fourth trade secrets. Next, law and ethics on intellectual property. First is law on intellectual property, a rule that protect the right of creator over their original works. This law help prevent others from copying, stealing, or misusing someone invention, brand, or creative content. First is Copyright Act. Protect original works like book, music, films, and software. It given the creator the right to control how their work is used. For example, a songwriter in Malaysia is protected from others using their song without permission. Second is Patent Act. Protect new invention or product. A patent gives the inventor exclusive right to make and sell their inventions. For example, a Malaysian scientist who invents a new medical device can patent it to prevent others from copying it. Third is trademark. Protect brand names, logo, and symbol used in business. it helps consumer identify product or services. For example, the Milo logo is a registered trademark and no one can use it without approval. So we go to the ethic on intellectual property. Ethic on IP means using and sharing other creative work in a fair, honest and respectful way. It goes beyond just following the law. It's about doing what is morally right when using someone else's idea or creation. First is respecting ownership and originality. Ethical users give credit to the original creator and do not copy or steal other works. For example, students must cite sources in assignment to show respect for the original author. And third is avoiding plagiarism in academic and professional contexts. Ethics discourage plagiarism, copying without credit and privacy. In Malaysia, downloading pirate movie or books is common but unethical and unfair to creators. Significance of IP in information management and use. First is promote ethical and responsible use of information. IP law and ethics teach users to use information honestly and fairly. This includes giving credit to creator, avoiding plagiarism, and respecting copyright rules. For example, universities in Malaysia use Turnitin to check for plagiarism and ensure students cite their sources properly. Second is support fair access and balance of rights. IP law had balanced the right of creator and users while protecting the work of author or inventor. Law also allow limited use for education or research. In Malaysia, library are allowed to provide photocopies of some material for study purpose under fair use, ensuring the user can still access knowledge legally. And third is enhanced digital resources management. IP law help manage digital materials such as e-book, online journal, and database properly. Information professionals must follow license terms and prevent illegal sharing. In Malaysia, university libraries subscribe to legal databases such as Science Direct and IMR533, and library staff ensure these digital resources are used according to copyright rules. Next. Next.
Okay, I will continue with the topic of information and data privacy and security. Information and data privacy and security refer to the protection of personal data and the system that manage it, ensuring ethical use and preventing unauthorized access. For legal framework in Malaysia, the Personal Data Protection Act or PDPA ensures that any personal data used in business transaction is handled with care and responsibility. On a global scale, we also have the General Data Protection Regulation or GDPR from the European Union, which influence data handling standard even beyond Europe. For the second topic is ethical principle. Two key ethical values are involved is confidentially and informed consent. First, confidentially, which means keeping sensitive information private and only accessible to right people. Second, informed consent, where individuals must be clearly informed and must agree before the data is collected or used. The third topic is significance of information and data privacy and security. Why is this important? Because it helps to build user trust. People are more likely to share their data if they know it's safe. It also prevents misuse of information and ensure that organization comply with the law. I will pass the next topic to Aisha Nabila.
So we move to the definition of social justice, equality and inclusivity. First is social justice means giving everyone a fair share of information by removing barriers like poverty, distance, or language. It aims to reduce the gap between people who have access to information and those who do not, so that all groups, especially the poor or rural, can take part in education, job, and culture. Equality means all users should get the same chance to access and use information, no matter their race, gender, age, religion, income, or physical condition. It promotes fair and non-discriminatory information services for everyone. And last, inclusivity. Inclusivity means designing information services to meet the needs of different people. This includes making websites usable for people with disabilities, offering information in multiple languages, and serving those in remote or underserved areas, such as in Malaysia rural communities. So, role of information law and ethics. In the concept of social justice, equality, and inclusivity. First is ensuring the right to access information. The Federal Constitution of Information, under Article granted freedom of expression, including the right to seek and receive information. This legal right supports social justice by ensuring all citizens can access knowledge equally. For example, perpustakaan desa provide library services in rural areas, helping reduce the gap between urban and rural communities. Second is bridging the digital divide. The Communication and Multimedia Act ensure for access to digital infrastructure. Through initiatives like Jendela, the government expand internet access to underserved areas such as Sabah and Sarawak. This law promote inclusivity and enabling equal digital opportunity across Malaysia. And third is promoting ethical and inclusive services delivery in library and information center. Ethic guide information professional to treat user fairly regardless of ability or background. Based on the IFLA Code of Ethics, library in Malaysia provide audiobook for the blind, multi-language material, and elder-friendly facilities. This practice promotes inclusivity and respect for all users. In conclusion, both legal and ethical frameworks are important for creating an inclusive and equitable information environment in Malaysia. Next, I will pass to the Nohaspadalila.
For the next slide is good governance. For the next slide is good governance in information management. Good governance in information management refers to the ethical, transparent, and responsible handling of data to ensure trust, compliance, and accountability. There are four main components. First, integrity, which is about being honest when managing information, and the second one is compliance, which refers to following law and policies related to information. The third one is transparency, meaning openness in how decision and information are shared. And finally, the fourth one is accountability, where people take full responsibility for how they manage information. The second topic of good governance in information management is role of ethics and law. Um, Information ethics and law support governance by promoting legal compliance, encouraging ethical decision making, and ensuring openness. For example, public institutions in Malaysia are required to publish spending reports to maintain transparency. The third topic is significant. Why is good governance in information management is important? Because it builds public trust, prevent the abuse of information, and improve decision making in an organization. When information is managed well, the entire system becomes more efficient and reliable. Um, I will pass the next slide to the next presenter.
Last, lastly, conclusion. Law and ethics play vital roles in information management by ensuring responsible, fair, and secure handling of data in today's digital society. Laws provide formal rules to prevent misuse, protect privacy, and uphold intellectual property, while ethics offer moral guidance in situations where laws may be unclear or lacking. Together, they help regulate behavior, shape organizational policies, and promote trust, accountability, and transparency. By supporting responsible information sharing, safeguarding user rights, and reinforcing good governance, both law and ethics foster a culture of integrity and professionalism essential to building a just and inclusive information environment. That's all. Thank you.